Today on View to a Grill, we're going to compare the Spider Grills Huntsman with the Weber Searwood 600. I have too many grills in my backyard and I need to consolidate. For full disclosure, I am an affiliate of Weber and Spider Grills. Neither one of these companies know that I'm making this video. Now, very quickly, at the filming of this video, both of these grills are the same price. Now let's get started. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you which one must go. I'm Johnny, and first let's find out which one was easier to assemble. For the Weber Searwood 600, the built app provides both visual and verbal instructions.
For safety, 2 people are required. Remove and save the hardware for use in a later step.
One of the nice things about the Searwood 600 is that it comes with the pellet hopper already installed. This is a big benefit. Most of the other pellet grills that I've assembled, you have to install the hopper yourself. The Searwood 600 does have a lot of tedious screws to screw in and a lot of parts to line up. It does take a while to assemble. Now let's talk about the Spider Grills Huntsman. It comes in 2 boxes, I'm assuming because of the overall weight. These boxes are well packed and everything is easily identifiable. However, there are a lot more parts than you might think. Out of the box, the Spider Grills Huntsman comes with a seasoning kit and a toolkit with actual useful tools. None of that flat wrench BS and Allen wrench that most other grills seem to come with. The hardest part about assembling the Huntsman is the lid. It's a little difficult to line up perfectly. I had a lot of trouble removing the pin. That actually took me a Google search and I had to watch another assembly video that really didn't quite tell you how to do it. Now, because of the app assistance, I'm going to give the edge for assembly to the Weber Searwood 600. Next, let's find out which grill is easier to set up for cooking. Both grills come with an app. First, let's look at the Spider Grills app. I'll turn the power on to the Spider Grills Huntsman and just wait a few seconds for that to come on. Now, back to the app, we can touch connect, wait for it to actually connect, and once it does, now we can touch control, and then we'll get this little message that says to press the Wi-Fi button in order to reconnect your app to the Spider Grills Venom. We'll then wait for that to finish connecting, and now you can use your app to control your Spider Grills Huntsman. Now, just follow the instructions on the screen, closing the bottom vent and adjusting the top vent. Now let's take a look at the Weber Searwood 600. Once you see that it is powered on, I'll start up my app. Now you can see that it is already connected, showing 85 degrees. However, at this point, you cannot control the Weber Searwood yet. Your first adjustment has to be a manual adjustment. So just turn the knob to whatever temperature setting you desire. Now we can touch OK on the app, and the app is now ready to take over control of your Weber Searwood, where you can then make future adjustments if you need to. Now, in all honesty, the Spider Grills app, half the time I'll have to repair the app to the Wi-Fi and set it up as if it was brand new. Fuel-wise, for the Weber Searwood 600, we use pellets, which are nice and clean. The Spider Grills Huntsman uses charcoal, which is not so clean. To set up the Weber Searwood for smoking, just pour your pellets into the hopper. For the Spider Grills Huntsman, you're going to have to get a little dirty and arrange your charcoal in a configuration that you like. To refill the Weber Searwood, all you have to do is pour more pellets into the hopper. However, for the Spider Grills Huntsman, you're going to have to push that coal to the back of the chamber, and then once you've done that, you can then refill with charcoal, which takes a lot longer. Something as simple as closing the door to the hopper is quite easy on the Searwood. However, on the Spider-Girl's Huntsman, sometimes because you need a lot of compression, it might take you a few times. You see at this attempt, it literally moved the whole grill backwards. Because of the ease of setup, we're going to give the edge to the Weber Searwood 600. Now, which grill has the most out-of-the-box capacity? Here's what a 10-pound brisket looks like on the Weber Searwood. You can see that it fits pretty easily. You can see that I could easily get an additional rack of ribs on there if I needed to. And if I had another 10-pound brisket, I could put that on the top shelf and close the lid without any issue. For the Spider-Girl's Huntsman, here's a 14-pound brisket, and it is really taking all the real estate on the grill. And out of the box, I can get 2 racks of baby back ribs on with no problem. I might be able to squeeze 3 small racks of ribs on there, maybe. Because the Weber Searwood 600 out of the box clearly has the most capacity, the edge goes to the Weber Searwood 600. Next, let's see which grill produces the best tasting food. Now, this is very subjective, but for smoking, let's just take a look at some examples. Smoking a brisket on the Huntsman, here are the results. Now, these are pretty good results. It has a nice smoke ring, and it does have some internal juice. If we take a look at the brisket on the Weber Searwood 600, these are incredible results with an avalanche of juices. The smoke ring is more pronounced. Now, if we do a rotisserie chicken, the rotisserie chicken on the Searwood is absolutely amazing. We can see here the results of the chicken, and just look at the juices accumulate on the board as I untie this bird. Totally delicious. Now, a rotisserie chicken on the Spider-Girl's Huntsman. Although the chicken on the Weber was fantastic, this one is just incredible, more flavorful. There's a lot to say about cooking over a real fire with real charcoal and wood. Look at these results. That is just a gorgeous chicken that tastes incredible, and the juices just keep pouring out. This by far is my favorite rotisserie chicken. As far as grilling goes, you can grill in air quotes on the Searwood 600. That is its weakest point. If all you had was the Searwood 600, you would definitely use it for grilling, but there's nothing like grilling over a real wood fire. Look at that crispy chicken. You can't get that same result in a pellet grill. That only happens with the real fire under your chicken. Now, this was probably the hardest question to answer, but because I grill more than I smoke, we're going to give the edge to the Spider-Girl's Huntsman. Now let's talk about which grill is easier to clean. When cleaning the Spider-Girl's Huntsman, I start off brushing all the ash to the bottom with a whisk broom. Next, I'll generally wipe off any excess grease or oil, and I'm also able to use my CitraSafe by just spraying on CitraSafe, letting it sit a minute, scrubbing it a little bit, and just wiping it off. These grates clean easily because they're stainless steel. Now onto the Searwood 600. This is a lot more difficult to clean. Everything inside the Searwood 600 gets excessively oily, especially after a large cook. You'll find yourself scraping away grease and grime. The CitraSafe that I typically use, it does a good job on the Searwood 600, but since the grates are not stainless steel, there tends to be a little rust buildup that happens pretty quickly on the grates. Inside the Weber Searwood 600, there are a lot of parts. I find myself using the vacuum cleaner and a whisk broom to get everything clean. And because of the ease of cleaning, I'm going to give the Spider-Girl's Huntsman the edge. Let's talk about longevity. Which grill is going to last longer? As we mentioned earlier, both grills have an app, and both grills have manual control over the electronics. However, only one grill works without digital aid, and that is the Spider Girls Huntsman, because it has vents that are adjustable by hand that do not require any digital assistance. The Weber Searwood is completely mechanical and could have issues. Now, because of the ability to completely control your Spider Girls Huntsman manually, I'm giving the edge to the Spider Girls Huntsman. Before I let you know which one must go, if you purchased either of these grills, I believe you would be happy with either one. Which one of these two grills will be leaving? This was actually a hard decision, but because of grilling and the ability to grill over an open fire and the ability to have complete manual operation without digital aid because of the working bottom vent and top vent, and for other things like the Weber Searwood needs 2 additional casters, whereas the Spider Girls Huntsman has a full set of casters, we're going to have to say goodbye to the Weber Searwood 600. In the comments below, let me know which one of these 2 grills you would have kept. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to View to a Grill, you're missing out. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, y'all.